watching it. I was sitting here watching this shit, and then I couldn't take it no more. And I don't know if these motherfuckers just be haters or what. But come on, man, let me tell you something, dog. The questions they asking this man is not about the game. You dig? The game, all 86 of them people you talking to, he's the only one willing to go to trial. We not finna play that. We not finna fake like that's what we really think or believe. All them niggas ain't going to trial. And it's a good thing they goddamn be charging them individually for what they do. Once you make a plea deal, they in the courtroom, they running this shit down in these questions to say that you know that you're guilty for these crimes, and that's why you're taking the deal because you're guilty for this. This is not questions for trial for another motherfucker. This is not nobody else's business. This is not no automatically saying anybody else is guilty for nothing. You dig? He just talking about him. In order for him to bring somebody else down for that specific information, he's gonna have to go to trial. He's gonna have to go to their trial and testify this and verify this shit. This is not the paperwork of a motherfucker snitching. If you, which every damn near every case, everybody don't go to trial. If you then been to the joint because you got a plea bargain, that does not mean you snitched. That mean nigga, once you took the plea bargain, so the courts can cover their ass and make sure you don't come back on them and sue them or no bullshit or no appeal. You are admitting to these. You are admitting to being guilty for this. That's it. That's all. That's for that case closed. They don't go say, okay, now he said this. We got all this evidence because he said this about y'all. No, he was answering them questions about himself and whatever specific he was talking about. It don't even have to be considered, y'all. It's so much other shit. Nah, we ain't doing that, man. This ain't no motherfucking. This ain't no motherfucking no snitching, no good. We ain't going. We're just not going. Let's check it out. See, you gotta understand what's happening, man. You can't just go for let them tell you anything, man. You can't just go for anything. You gotta know what the fuck happening. These motherfuckers just talking with their mouth.
The court. Did the enterprise have rules, traditions, and protocols that you followed as a member and associate? The defendant. Yes, ma'am. The court. During the time that you were a member of the enterprise, did you knowingly conspire, that is, agree with other members and associates of the enterprise to commit at least?
Like I was saying, remember the same way it was with Gunner. The reason why he said he's because he mentioned Gunner. See, Gunner and them was in a private organization group that they had went ahead and started calling the Rico, just like with Diddy and his gang. They call that a Rico. It's not exactly sure what they do. You know what I'm saying? Rolling 60 is a nationwide gang that he didn't got caught up in, and he's taking his charge. He's being guilty. He's not. Them questions that they ask any motherfucker that been to the joint. Once you plead out, that's the plead out system. Hey, you know, like you want to make sure you know what's going on, all that shit. You only okay. You that'll prevent them from doing no appeals or no shit like that. This ain't got nothing. This is snitch. That part is over.
These two criminal acts in furtherance of the enterprise?
Surf, you better not say nothing. Lord. We're going to have to add him to this intro, y'all. God. Let's let him read that again.
Now, the court. During the time that you were a member of the enterprise, did you knowingly conspire, that is, agree with other members and associates of the enterprise to commit at least 2 criminal acts in furtherance of the enterprise? The defendant. Yes.
Now, just so y'all can understand why the questions are so specific. When you snitching, you snitch in the motherfucking interrogation room. You snitch to the detective. You give them the information. And then you solidify by going on trial. That's what snitching is. You don't have any paperwork saying he was snitching. You have his paperwork when he go be in front of the judge and the judge is sentencing him. They say, okay, you're agreeing to take this plea under these circumstances because we got your ass, and that's that. This is not about telling on nobody. This ain't about none of that. This is the procedure you go through when you take a plea deal. See, motherfuckers gotta know they shit. I'm not no law professor, nigga. I just been to the joint enough times to sink this shit. The fuck? Y'all niggas just talking. How do you take a plea deal without them reading what they got on you? That don't mean he telling on nobody. That part happens in there.
God, man. He telling y'all. He telling, bro. Like, he telling, gang.
The court. Were you, in fact, an organizer, leader, manager, or supervisor within the enterprise, Mr. Cox? The defendant. Yes.
Him.
Can y'all, all right, all y'all surf gobblers. All right, a lot of y'all be gobbling. I'm cool with Surf. I was cool with him. I don't know if we cool now. Surf has invited me to, multiple different events. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to the event with him and Cortez, Young and May, all of that. Like I went there, you know what I'm saying? Surf. Even the event he battled JC. Like he got me in there, you know what I mean? VIP treatment, everything. Shout out to Surf. He told me. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand y'all like that he raps. Look like he telling, gang. When you in, let's just say it's a mafia, you know what I mean? Or so,
No, let's not call it nothing. Let's not call it a mafia because it's not a mafia. Different situations got different shit. They talking about a nationwide rolling 60 Crip gang, man. Shit that he can't go up there and say he's not part of. That's just stupid. And then again, he's not being questioned for the sake of ain't nobody on trial or none of that shit. He's being questioned because he made a plea deal, and this is not a questioning. This is a procedure. This is a process that they go through when you make the plea deal. This is in order to protect the prosecution from defendants coming back with any appeals or anything like that. This is not to say, okay, we got this guy said you did this crime. None of that shit. This is just a man taking his place. What do you mean 86 motherfuckers saying they not a Crip and they all going to trial? No, stupid. When I first get to court and you go get a rain, you plead not guilty. I don't the fuck know why, but that's what they tell us to do.
like this is a gangster mafia. It is what it is. But let's just.
And then when it comes time for the preliminary hearing, the second and the third one, and then it come down to the hearing and the sentencing. So yes, under that arraignment, you go tell them not guilty for whatever reason. Then you go back because it's supposed to say that you're going to trial. Then you go back and get the perks of not going to trial. Hey, my defendant say he's willing to take his charges. With take this off, do this. We ain't going to trial. He's not going to trial. That's the process to change it from not guilty to guilty. That's like you're doing something. That's just a step. That is not motherfucking snitching. If he was snitching, you would be having the paperwork from the goddamn officers.
Say you in a real mafia, right?
And now you trying to compare him to a real mafia. You're changing his situation. Like Gunner, you bringing Gunner shit up. Gunner was in a clique that they had made up. There was allegedly supposed to be rappers, what the fuck ever. But they made that gang up, so nobody knows what they do. Goddamn me, you talking about rolling 60 Crips, they got a motherfucking mission statement. Goddamn me. The fuck?
You John Gotti, right? Sammy the Bull. This whole situation.
You don't even know what Sammy the Bull did. Let me just stop. Just keep going. Or Gotti, nigga.
And he gets on they asking him these questions and he's admitting to this. What would you call it?
He's taking a plea deal for himself.
You know what I mean?
He
And
ain't
forget
telling on
about
nobody.
liking a person's raps, their aura, like what y'all be liking. You know what I mean? We gotta keep.
He's not telling on nobody. He already taking a plea deal, getting this case over with, and they're reading to him the evidence and shit they have on him, and they ask him, "Do you agree we have this evidence on you?" Because where the baby, where my thing at? Baby, do you got my thing?
Keep it real, gang. Y'all went crazy on Gunna. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what none of these, but y'all know I don't care what the battlers think. You know what I mean? Hey.
Nah, but you wrong though, bro. You got to get this procedure right. That's not snitching. When you take a plea deal, bro, like I'm gonna keep saying, because they keep showing y'all this shit and it's supposed to look so official. When you take a plea deal, I got sentenced. I had 10 year sentence for drug trafficking. You did unlawful use of a weapon, escape, attempt to distribute and manufacture. When they get you on that type of shit, and you take the plea, they're going to then take you, because at the arraignment you're going to say not guilty for whatever reason. That's the steps that I've always known that the lawyers tell you to do. Okay, then you go to your preliminary hearing, the lawyer come back with a deal they got for you, and you be like, okay, I'll take that. And then we come back to court next month. We come back to court next month for the hearing and sentencing, and the judge, okay, you know, you're pleading guilty for such and such, such and such, such and such, such. Yes. It's not a questioning. So get your shit right, man. No, he did not snitch.
It is what it is. It sounds like he's telling, gang. You know what I mean? So maybe this is what Math was talking about.
The court. And did you, in fact, commit certain?
Shout out to Papa Bug with the super chat. He said, "Add him to the intro." I don't know. We're gonna rewind this a little bit. I don't understand how y'all don't think he's not telling. You know what I mean? Like he's saying too much right now. Like you could like take a plea deal and just be like, "Yo, I'm guilty. I don't want to further, incriminate myself." But in that deal,
it's not taking a deal and further incriminating yourself. It's taking a deal. He's already known the charges he's taking. Yeah, I shot at the motherfucker. I was part of this. I was part of that. You did. What part? Who part? I'm not telling you people I was with or none of that shit. Yeah, I did some shit with some gang members. I don't tell you who it is or nothing. That is not snitching, man. Y'all gotta get y'all shit together, man. You got to have some papers got to come with you when you're taking these charges, when you're going to court. There has to be some papers. Damn. Now, if he carries dumbass to trial and they know he a crip, they get 50 billion years or get put in a situation where motherfuckers start telling on each other and giving different positions. Nah, I ain't gonna start telling on nobody. I'm just gonna be guilty for what I am guilty for. I'm not calling nobody else guilty but me. That's the point of this, to say you're taking this time because you're guilty, not nobody else. He's not losing weight when somebody else shit.
he's got to admit to doing things so that they can use that against the other people. That's what y'all not understand.
No, that's not what happens. That's not what happens. They could say that. They could be in court and say, yes, and we have other that says that they what you call it. Wait a minute. Do you got witnesses? No, we just have on paper. Man, we don't want to hear that shit. That man was telling on himself. Y'all just making shit up. They can't use that. He ain't calling out names and shit. He calling out his own. How you gonna go to trial with the information they already got? They trying to figure out, hey, somebody, affiliates, the same shit they already own. He not connecting them dots. Y'all don't know what the fuck snitching is. There got to be some papers. There got to be a process in the courtroom, dog.
Standing with this. So by him saying all that, this creates a big problem for the people that want to stand tall and fight this out.
No, they don't.
He was the first to roll, it looks like. One of the first.
That's not rolling.
So we're gonna run this back.
Yes. The court. Were you in fact an organized?
But this shit that they had on Mook, y'all call that nothing. Y'all call that nothing. They go a man trying to get himself out of jail by admitting to his crimes without involving nobody else. If they try to word it in a way to where they involving somebody else, that's their wording and their choice of words and shit. But him specifically, he's just taking his own weight. And y'all damn near hanging the man. And then you got a motherfucker on there who beating the shit out of women and kids. And y'all saying, oh, that ain't no real paperwork. And y'all sound goofy as hell.
As a leader, manager, or supervisor within the enterprise, Mr. Cox? The defendant. Yes. The court.
And all y'all little surf gobblers up here that's just y'all. Oh, what name did he tell? He thought on the organization, you dumb mother. Like, what are y'all not understanding?
How did he tell on the organization? He did not. They picked him up because the organization of the 60 Crips said that they got him involved with them. So they picked him up and he said, yeah, he did what he did. He ain't told on no organization. The organization is the reason why they came and got him, silly. They didn't lock him up and he said, well, this was the Rolling 60s did this. No, they didn't say, oh, you're part of the Rolling 60s? Oh man, it's new information. Put the 60s in this. No, they said the Rolling 60s are under investigation. We finna give them all charges. Surf is one of them. Pick him up. And Surf just took his weight. What the fuck you don't get? It's simple.
They literally are asking him right now, yo, did you have anything to do with the Rolling 60s?
Yes, he's a Rolling 60 Crip. That's why they picked him up. That don't make nobody else guilty. All the mother Rolling 60 got to say they ain't in it. I mean, what is it? Or they already know they Crips or they don't. What is he doing by saying, yes, I'm affiliated with the Rolling 60 Crips? So when he say he affiliated with the Rolling 60 Crips, that make everybody, all 86 of them people Rolling 60 Crips? That make all of them people who he talking about? Come on, man, don't be goofy.
He's saying yes. How much, like what he got to put it in subtitles or something? That's what he's saying. Yes. Did you have anything to do with it? Yes. You know what I mean? What are you not understanding here? He's telling.
And did you, in fact, commit certain overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy?
Listen, you don't snitch in court when you plea dealing. When it's the court talking to the defendant on a plea deal, the defendant and the courts are making a deal between them for him being guilty. You don't talk to the court to tell on other people unless it's a trial and someone else is on trial. If somebody else is on trial, then that's when you come in as a witness, not the defendant. He's in there as a defendant in the court, taking his weight for his crime.
The defendant. Yes. The court. For example, on or about March 18th, 2017, did you shoot at a member and associate of a rival gang?
Yeah.
The defendant. Yes, ma'am. The court.
What?
For that offense, on or about January 29th, 2018.
No, bro. Come on. Come on, Surf.
The enterprise, Mr. Cox? The defendant? Yes. The court? And did you, in fact, commit certain overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy? The defendant? Yes. The court?
When he is admitting this, that puts the whole gang at risk. Did you commit certain overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy? The defendant, yes. What are y'all dumb or something? What do you not get?
Were you, in fact, an organizer, leader, manager, or supervisor within the enterprise, Mr. Cox? The defendant? Yes.
This is a RICO, dog. They're going after everybody. They need somebody to roll and admit their role in the RICO.
No.
So that they can put this on everybody else. He's admitting to things here. This is a problem.
That is not true. That is not getting him to admit shit to roll on everybody else. This is him taking his own charge. This do not roll on everybody else. Who else do it roll on? What? So what? Okay, just tell me what they can do with his information to one defendant. They can go to a defendant and say, well, Surf said he's guilty for doing what? Nothing. Okay, if you was in there, okay, just put yourself in there. If you was part of this trial, you was part of the 86, and he went in there and took a plea bargain and started telling on himself and just answering questions as far as how the plea bargain go. Tell me, what can they come to you and say based on his information? Surf said he's part of Rolling 60s and he did a crime. Like what? What can he say? Absolutely nothing, man. That's it. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about, man. Get y'all shit together, man, before y'all start trying to give a motherfucker a weird ass jacket. That's a weird ass jacket, man. You don't just give that jacket out, man. Yes, baby. Who was you just on the phone with, though? I was just curious. Well, what's that?
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how this is gonna go when he gets out. You know, obviously gonna go into space. He's gonna talk. Are y'all gonna keep it real and ask him about this? Because what's gonna happen? He's gonna end up battling. This is gonna come out.
The court. And did you, in fact, commit certain overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy? The defendant. Yes. The court. For example, on or about March 18th, 2017, did you shoot at a member and associate of a rival gang? The defendant. Yes, ma'am. The court. For that offense, on or...
Bro, you admitting to shooting at the people of a rival gang. You're admitting to being a part of a conspiracy. You're admitting to a lot of things that's putting this gang, like, they're going after the gang. You know what I'm saying? And you admitting that you've done stuff and for this gang. What do you think the prosecutors are going to do to the gang?
About January 29th, 2018, were you convicted of aggravated assault in violation of NJSA statute annotated 2C12 1B2 and sentenced to 3?
Surf kept it as real as possible. And we all know Surf got a lot going on with this battle rap gang. The battle rap gang then got crazier. He wanted to resolve his case as quick as possible by taking responsibility for what he is being charged with, as they read in the beginning. Each of these individuals are being charged with their own separate individual cases, but we're going to put it all together and make it one. So it's already said that he's taken away for his own case. It's nothing for him to do.
Years probation with credit for 317 days in custody. The defendant, yes, ma'am.
God, no.
Of the conspiracy.
So the crime he talking about, he already was guilty for it. Were you in fact the organized leader, and did you commit certain for that? Yes. For example, March. For example, rival gang. Yes. Did you get convicted for it? Yes. See, this just information and the procedure you go through when you take a plea deal, dog.
The defendant enterprise, Mr. Cox. The defendant, yes. The court. And did you, in fact, commit certain overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy? The defendant, yes. The court. For example, on or about March 18th, 2017, did you shoot at a member and associate of a rival gang? The defendant, yes, ma'am. The court. For that offense, on or about January 29th, 2018, were you convicted?
Why do y'all think he's getting out so soon? He gets out next February. Allegedly. He gets out next February is when he's supposed. This is what Cortez said. Right. He's shooting at a rival gang. They caught him with 2 guns, and he's getting out this quick. Like, are y'all not picking it up? Like, had to send marshals at him. That he didn't turn himself in to get any good behavior. They sent marshals. He was hitting up in a apartment. They had to go in and get him. When you do stuff like that, it adds to the, like how notorious you are. They're letting him out sooner rather than later. Why do you think that's happening? This has something to do with it.
Aggravated assault in violation of NJSA statute annotated 2C12 1B2 and sentenced to 3 years probation with credit for 317 days in custody. The defendant, yes, ma'am. The court. And did you know that aggravated assault was in fact a felony?
Look at it. Look at it. I'm gonna point out some of these gobblers. You got a couple gobblers in here. Let me see. I'm gonna see your name because he is telling his actions only. Jack Boy. That says your name right there. You are surf gobbling. What are you talking about? He's only telling on himself. Do you know how this can be used against the rolling 60s? Are you like, what are you waiting for him to get out so you can lick his feet?
You sound dumb.
Do you not understand what is happening?
You sound dumb. Ain't nothing happening. Dude, you telling the motherfucker in the motherfucking interrogation room to the detective, dog. Or if you're in trial, you being a witness, and you are helping the prosecutor's case. That's not what's happening. He took a plea deal, and they are going through the procedures, which is read to him the shit that he's guilty for so that he may not come back with no appeal. They just dotting their I's and crossing their T's. If they ultimately want to try to use something against a motherfucker, then that'll be some shit that they try under some bullshit. It won't be him snitching because he would have to go to court and make sure that's what that information had meant. So no, he's not snitching. This is his procedure, man, when you're taking a plea deal.
Here.
The defendant, yes. The court.
They not in there calling him the CIA, the witness, the nothing. He is the defendant.
They're sorry, gobblers. You know what I'm saying? I know I see a lot of y'all being reasonable about it. We're not trying to, like, if anything, if he goes down as being a snitch, this messes up battle rap for years. You know what I mean? So this is not a good thing. You know, so I don't know. I'm trying to figure out whether or not he snitched or not. And right now he's telling too much information.
Therefore, after that conviction, Mr. Cox, did you know that you were a felon and thus prohibited from possessing firearms and ammunition? The defendant, yes. The court. Additionally, During the previously mentioned time period, did you knowingly and intentionally conspire with other members and associates of the enterprise to distribute and possess with intent to distribute at least 40 but less than 60 kilograms of marijuana across state lines? The defendant, yes, ma'am.
What? And they got surf on a lot of stuff, bro. Like, this was serious.
During the previously mentioned time period, did you knowingly and intentionally conspire with other members and associates of the enterprise to distribute and possess with intent to distribute?
Okay, so all y'all gobblers, this just took y'all out, right? It says, did you knowingly, intentionally conspire with other members and associates?
Which is who though? Who he tell? He tell me what he did. Who the associates?
Like, what are y'all talking about? Because you had, no, I'm talking
What
about
are you talking about? What are
you?
you talking about? Who are the associates? Who he say? Who was the enterprise?
Addressed earlier, not all y'all, but the gobbler. He ain't telling nobody else. He's clearly saying with members and associates. They're asking him, did you conspire?
What members and associates though?
Because it's eliminate a mystery.
Shut the fuck. This is the procedure you go through when you're making a plea deal, bro.
With members and associates? He says yes.
That's for them to say that he's guilty for what they calling him guilty for, not to call nobody else guilty. That's the reason why they're asking him about enterprises and shit. Is he involved in an enterprise? Not that enterprise, this person, that person. Just is he involved in enterprise? And he answered with yes. So they know he's guilty for what they're saying he did.
During the previously mentioned time period, did you knowingly and intentionally conspire with other members and associates of the enterprise to distribute and possess with intent to distribute at least 40 but less than 60 kilograms of marijuana across state lines? The defendant, yes, ma'am. The court, on or about July 24th, 2019 in Essex County, New Jersey, did law enforcement recover a Beretta PX4?
I wonder what he was facing, like what time he was facing to be in this situation. This is crazy, gang.
No, it's not. It's not nothing.
The defendant, yes, ma'am.
I'm not moving the goalposts for nobody. If I feel like he is telling, I'm going to say he's telling. You know what I'm saying? This is my channel. But, right now, I would say this. The only way that you can really defend Surf on this is you can say he did not say names, right? But the problem when you say that he didn't say names is he's telling on the road 60s is what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, do you, are you conspiring with other members, to distribute at least 40, but less than, you know what I'm saying? What to cross interstate lines, you conspiring with other members? He's saying yes. So that kind of like nullifies that. That becomes the problem, like if you're trying to defend this. You know what I'm saying? Because he kind of telling on the gang, bro. So it's just, it would be one thing if they question Surf, and if Surf could say, I'm responsible for all of this.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
doing.
And not say anything about anybody else. No gang, no, you know what I'm saying? No members, no nothing. I did all this. Were you shooting at a rival gang? I don't know about that, but I was popping at somebody that was running a mouth. You know what I'm saying? There's ways you could go about it.
No,
you letting them lead you into a mess. You know what I mean? That they can, eventually use against, the gang. That becomes a problem. You got to be like smarter than the prosecutors in this situation. You know what I mean? Just be like, yo, because you got to understand, people are going to bring this up. You got to be like, yo, like, I was traveling across interstate lines doing X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? But it wasn't nobody else involved. That's how you do it. You don't be like, other members and associates of the enterprise distributing
that part of the game is already over.
At least 40, but less than 60 kilograms of marijuana across state. You don't say, you know what I mean? You don't.
That part of the game is already over. He's already accepted his plea, and all they're doing is reading to him where he's claiming he is guilty for it. They are not getting any information for nobody else. That part is over. He didn't snitch. He just taking a plea deal. He's not agreeing to be a witness or none of that shit. Damn.
Answer yes to that. So you got to be like, I hear what you're saying. You know what I mean? And you got to think, I'm not a gangster. Your boy want to go home, but at the same time, I ain't trying to get nobody no time. You know what I'm saying? I would say, hey, I hear what you're saying, prosecutor. I don't know about nobody else. We see it happen all the time in courts.
He's not talking to the prosecutor. He's up there taking the deal. It's over. Stupid.
I don't know about nobody else. They're conspiring with other people, but I did this. You know what I'm saying? I did that. That's how you do it. You don't let them say, you know what I mean, other members and associates of the enterprise to distribute and put.
You can't stop them how they word shit. That's what you got your lawyer for, to counter that shit if there need be. But there's not any of that going on. They're not using that against anyone. That's not a trial. This is not an interrogation. This is the process of a plea bargain.
Possess an intent to distribute at least 40 but less than 60 kilograms of like, you don't let them do that. You know what I mean? So that's when it comes into a problem now with the rolling 60s and everything. You know what I mean? So this is crazy.
The court, on or about July 24th, 2019 in Essex County, New Jersey, did law enforcement recover a Beretta PX4 Storm 40 caliber firearm bearing serial number PY44520, loaded with 9 rounds of ammunition, as well as 9mm Taurus Brazil PT111 handgun bearing serial number TCR 76915, loaded with 3 rounds of ammunition, which I will collectively refer to as firearms and ammunition. Did they locate this and recover it from a car in which you were traveling? Yeah. The defendant, yes, ma'am. And did the firearms and ammunition, the court, and did the firearms and ammunition belong to you? The defendant, yes. The court, at the time you possessed these firearms and ammunition, Mr. Cox, had you already been convicted of a felony? The defendant, yes. The court.
That part, he's just telling on himself. That part's not bad. It's the other parts that are bad. That part's not bad at all. He's just telling them on himself.
Court. And is it fair to say that you knew that as a felon, you were prohibited from possessing firearms and ammunition?
Because it's already
the defendant, yes.
Correct.
The court. And is it fair to say at this time that you are pleading guilty because you are, in fact, guilty of the offenses set forth in counts 1 and 3 of the superseding indictment? The defendant, yes, ma'am. The court. Very well. Thank you, Mr. Cox. At this time, Ms. LaCorey, are there any representations the government would like to place on the record? Ms. LaCorey, the prosecutor. Yes, Your Honor. The United States makes the following representations to the court. First, the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips is an enterprise as defined in Title 18 United States Code Section 1961-4. Second, that the activities of the enterprise affected interstate commerce, including the sale of marijuana, heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, and the use of facilities in interstate commerce. This was important because this is how they locked them in to traveling across state lines for them.
See what I'm saying? Byron Blake caught it.
Second, that the activities of the enterprise affected interstate commerce, including the sale of marijuana, heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, and the use of facilities in interstate commerce. This was important because this is how they locked them in to traveling across state lines for it to be a Fed case. And that shows you how important the connection to California in this case was. But let's keep going. Third, that members and associates of the enterprise engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity as defined in Title 18 United States Code Sections 1959 B1 and 1961 1 in furtherance of the enterprise's objectives. Fourth, that the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips gang is a structured entity with a core of personnel which has remained intact through the years and the group has an existence separate and apart from the commission of any specific racketeering act. And fifth, had the matter proceeded to trial, the United States could have proven each and every element of count 1 and 3 beyond a reasonable doubt.
Mm-hmm.
The United States submits to your honor that these representations, coupled with Mr. Cox's affirmative answers to the questions that you just asked of him, provide a sufficient factual basis for the acceptance of his plea of guilty to counts 1 and 3 of the indictment.
Thank you.
Basically saying that based on the evidence that we saying we got and him admitting, we got this.
We got him on 1 and 3.
The court, very well.
Not know we got this. Not know based on the information and what he admit we got this. No, they saying based on what they just got through asking them, and letting y'all know counts 1 and 3, his ass is good for that, which was this all this was about.
Thank you, Ms. LaCorey. I am likewise satisfied, Mr. Cox, that with the advice of your counsel, you have knowingly and voluntarily not only waived your right to proceed to trial.
What I say from the jump? What I say from the jump? This is how they cover their ass so he cannot appeal because he already said he's guilty for it. It had nothing to do with nobody else.
But you have also knowingly and voluntarily waived your right to appeal. And having entered this plea of guilty, the court is satisfied that you have given a sufficient factual basis upon which the court can accept your plea of guilty. So it will be accepted at this time, and you will be determined guilty at this point. It is going to be necessary for you to meet with probation. They will have the opportunity to review and go over it with you. Obviously, prepare a pre-sentence report. You will review that with Mr. Whipple. The court and the government will receive copies of that exact same document. While awaiting sentencing, Surf will be required to meet with the probation officer during preparation of his pre-sentence report. And during this meeting, he would discuss not only his personal history, but his history with the gang, as well as his version of the events that he pleaded guilty to, including the racketeering conspiracy. During this meeting, Surf would admit that he joined the set when he was 13 years old, and also admit to his role in the marijuana conspiracy, essentially sticking to his promise to not change his story prior to sentencing. On November 30th, 2023, Surf was sentenced to 60 months.
Good shit.
During sentencing, Surf's attorney would highlight how 77 of the 83 counts of the indictment made no mention of Surf. And although Surf was the first to plead out and thus the first to have his case closed, at his sentencing, his attorney would compliment the probation department in working really hard on this case and putting together a very comprehensive report that tells the whole story, about other defendants, about the entire case. In the eyes of those familiar with this process, this was the most telling sign of Surf's cooperation. How could the probation office tell the entire story of the other co-defendants if the other co-defendants hadn't yet been sentenced and met with the probation office themselves?
A lot of cases closed.
As if this wasn't enough to raise eyebrows, Surf was then given the lightest sentence of all the defendants charged in the case. In a recent interview, Sammy the Bull would speak on John Gotti's no plea rule. He would state that this wasn't an actual mafia rule, but a rule that John Gotti himself put into play. According to Sammy, the reason John implemented this rule was because he knew that whatever statement given by the person taken during the factual basis portion of the plea could and would be used against others.
We're gonna keep it real. Surf can't battle Mook. If Surf battles Murder Mook and this come Surf can't battle Mook, bro. Mook,
you can kill that narrative. No good. And how the fuck his Mook gonna battle anybody? He got beating up girls. So man, miss me with that shit. That man just told on himself and got himself sentenced. And as y'all seen, there's about 8, 9 other people that got their cases closed. He went first. He had a lot of shit to do. We got to talk about it. They know what the fuck going on.
Would destroy Surf with this. No, he can't battle him. He can't battle Big K. Surf is gonna have to, when he gets out of jail, he's gonna have to control everything. He's gonna have to pick and choose who he's gonna battle. That's not gonna bring this up. If y'all remember when Surf when we was on the phone with Loaded Lux, and Lux said that Surf tried to, write the battle with him, and he didn't want to do it. Like, Surf's gonna have to find somebody to play along and write the battles with him. Otherwise, like, this is not gonna work when he gets home. You know what I mean? Even John the Don said that Surf wanted to write the battle with him, like, and John didn't want to do it. So it's a lot. Like, this is a problem. You know what I mean? So if he gets out, like, I hear what Mav Hoffa is saying, was alluding to. If he gets out, this is going to be a big issue. Like, Big K is not going to spare him if he ever battled him. You know what I mean? Or, like, he's got to pick somebody he's cool with that's going to help him get through this battle. And then he can go to the Joe Button podcast and chill. But from what this looks like, this is not good, man.
Who the government...
Y'all call kids... Hold on. Y'all call Kid Slade a tattletale? Kid Slade said... What? Kid Slade said something about a bottle? Kept everything else solid? Surf is literally saying that he was crossing interstate lines, you know what I'm saying, with that product, with members. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all... Like, it's... Y'all are, I'm not talking about all y'all. I'm talking about the gobbler I was mentioning earlier. Y'all was going in on Kid Slade. Did you just hear what Surf admitted to? Having a part in a conspiracy, going interstate lines, like, admitting he's doing that with people. Like, bruh, like, what is y'all, like, no. Y'all, the picking and choosing has got to stop. You know what I mean? I know y'all love him. Y'all, what is it? He brushed his hair a lot. He got waves. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But the picking, because y'all be gobbling. The picking and choosing has got to stop. He said too much. You know what I mean? Like, he did.
Baby, you got the lighters.
Wanted to target for racketeering. The RICO law was fairly new around John Gotti's time, man, and he was coming up with a strategy for how to fight it because he knew what they were doing. By taking this plea, Surf went on record stating that the Rolling 60s...
In furtherance of the gang. Oh, Lord. Yo!
...were a criminal enterprise, operating in New Jersey, yet founded in and being supplied by Los Angeles, California.
Put it back up there.
This would allow the government to then turn its sights towards Los Angeles as they look to criminalize the Rolling 60s as a neighborhood in their efforts to target senior members of that community, the same senior members who fund the youth sports programs and run gang intervention programs. As I've said before, this is an age-old tale. Everybody want to be down, everybody want to be gang until the feds come. Then it's every man for themselves.
Yeah, man. People gonna tell, like, it's what it is, man. Like, this is why, like, the gang life is just so silly to me, man. It's silly to me. And then even people, and I ain't gonna even like say names, people be repping gang like hard and they be rolling with snitches. Like, I literally watching it be laughing, and it's like, y'all don't even know. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Different people, whatever. But like, this is crazy, gang. Like, the way Byron Blake broke this down and showed you the paperwork, like, you gotta be gobbling if you don't think this dude said too much. You know what I mean? Like I said, how he should have handled it. He should have been like, you know what I mean? And I ain't even, I just be watching Law and Order, gang. You know what I mean? Like, how he should have handled it. He should have just been like, yo, I'm guilty. I don't know about what nobody else is doing. When I went across interstate lines, that was me. Nobody else. When they're leading him and saying, were you doing this with gang, with members and all of this, and he's admitting to it, like, that's a problem. When they talk about the conspiracy, like, you're going and you're like, and involved in a conspiracy, and all of this, and he's admitting, and did you in fact commit certain overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy of the gang? He says yes. Like, are y'all crazy? He told. There is no way around it. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't got no problems with him. He told, gang. Do I gotta do it gotta be in subtitles? He told.
To commit at least 2 criminal acts in furtherance of the enterprise? The defendant. Yes. The court. Were you in fact an organizer?
We gotta rewind this again. Not all y'all, just that one gobbler was bothering me.
The court. Did the enterprise have rules, traditions, and protocols that you followed as a member and associate? The defendant. Yes, ma'am. The court. During the time that you were a member of the enterprise, did you knowingly conspire, that is, agree with other members and associates of the enterprise to commit at least 2 criminal acts in furtherance of the enterprise? The defendant. Yes.
He snitched.
The court. Were you in fact an organizer, leader, manager, or supervisor within the enterprise, Mr. Cox?
You know what I mean?
The defendant.
You gotta understand, people are gonna bring this up. You gotta be like, yo, like, I was traveling across interstate lines doing X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? But when nobody else involved, that's how you do it. You don't feel like, yeah, well, other members and associates of the enterprise distributed